Be sure to thank HyperX, Thermaltake, and Sapphire in the comments. Without them, we wouldn't be here. And also be sure to click on the links in the description. Antec is back. This is P50. Check this out. So this is a nice small case. It's got the dual chamber design going on where you put the motherboard on one side and you put your hard drives and your power supply on the other side. Now here's what's interesting about this case. You get a lot of different options. You can do micro ATX or mini ITX on the inside here. So there's plenty of room. Also room enough for large graphics cards in the front. You can put a 120 here and also a 120 in the top. Just slide this off. Comes right off. You can also get this snazzy orange one here. I believe it's only available. There we go. Got it. It's only available. I think it. I have no idea where this is available. You can see there, 120 on top. Some fan controls. They're nice. And again, if you want to do that, you're going to have to take out the 5 1/4 bracket on the inside. But you know, whatever. You know what? Let's just grab this one because it's already naked. I'm trying to get these things naked all day. This is going to be one air chamber, and there's even a couple of spots here. I believe those are 80mm fans in the back. I'm just yeah, we're wild. Right here, check that out. You can put a full-size power supply on the bottom there. 2.5-inch drives right here, and then also 3.5-inch drives go right in there, and you can get 3 of them in there, but you can also put 2.5-inch drives. So you can have 5 2.5-inch drives, or 3 3.5-inch drives, and 2 2.5-inch drives. 3 4 2 2 7 8 5. Call now. Call now. Check this out. This is the P380. Look at this. Now we did see this at Computex, but they've retooled the inside, and now everything is pretty much modular. You can remove all these hard drive cages. A load of all those hard drives. They support 3.5-inch and 2.5-inch hard drives. So if you remove all these, you can put a 360 rad in the front. You can also put a 240 up there. Same on the top, 360 or 240. This is aluminum. It's one of their only cases that has aluminum. That's some thick, nice, heavy aluminum. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna tear this thing apart. I know it's not pretty when you start tearing all the stuff apart, but you know, I want to see things. Oh no, there's cable management problems. But come over here, you can take a look in there. I want you guys to see this because it's important. Slotted screw holes. Look at those slotted screw holes for the fans. I really love slotted screw holes. So go ahead and put that back on there. Makes it way easier to build, and also gives you more options for more, you know, radiators and fans and that sort of thing. So on the inside, they're saying that it can fit everything up to SSI CEB, XLATX, whatever you want to put in there. You can put it in there. They've got some dust covers, of course, on the bottom. It's just going to be a big open area for you guys to use, and that seems to be really popular, you know, these days. And look at this. Really, can you even see that right there? It's so sleek and hidden. USB 3 and USB 2 plus your headphone and microphone. Possibly frustrating if you're in the dark trying to figure out where these things are, but they are so sleek and hidden that it's going to give it a nice aesthetic. Yeah, switching up the I/O, that's pretty cool. So depending on which side of the desk you put it on, you can have the I/O on that side. That's genius. Now,
yeah, and it has 2 power buttons, so on the right side and on the left side. So
double power?
Yeah, you can have it on your left side or the right side.
They've got lots of power options. Now I also want to note that this does have a side panel with a window, and notice that the window does not cover the entire side panel. So what I'm thinking is if you want to put like a big radiator right there, I would switch into Russian for, I don't know why. Probably because I fell down the stairs when I was young. So if you want to take out all these and put like a big reservoir right there, then, you know, it'll be blocked by that. So you won't have to, you know, if it's an ugly reservoir. What if it's a pretty reservoir?
I also want to install radiator on this machine.
Dimitri, what are you doing here?
I will go back to Hardware Connect.
One last thing I want to note. There's too many things. These things can also, if you take them off, you can move them back. So you can still have your hard drive bays. Just put them here, and then you can have a 360 or 240 right there. Lots of options. They've put some emphasis on silence. So what they've done here, even though there's a side panel window, it's double-sided. There's actually 2 pieces in here, and it's completely sealed. Now, the metal is a dual-layer polycarbonate.
That's pretty metal.
Yeah, it is. That's like, this is heavy metal. If you hit someone in the head, it becomes death metal. So yeah, it's really nice that they've put in a lot of thought into almost everything, including silence and airflow and just open space and all kinds of crazy things going on here. So it looks like Antec is back. They've really stepped up their game, and I'm glad that we caught up with them here at CES.
Alright, this is Antec's mobile products, so also known as AMP, and we got a bunch of really nifty stuff here, a couple of speakers and some other random things, but I was just gonna like kind of cover over it. But this really caught my attention. This little baby, this thing is teeny tiny. It's called the Sugar Cube, and you can hear it. I'm playing some music right now, but I'm gonna set this down on the table. I'm just gonna crank the shit out of this, because there we go. Look at that, this little thing. Almost overpowering to the microphone.
You guys can't hear this now, but it's very loud.
And it's got enough bass here that this is actually vibrating my hand. This is decent. Set it down on the table, it reverberates. Settle it down. It's kind of nifty stuff, man. Alright, we're here at Mionix, and we've got to check out their new product. You got the old ones, which are, this is the ambidextrous model. You got the nice big palm model, which is really snazzy, but you rest your hand on your wrist, and that's it's kind of crazy. So they wanted to try to find a way to bridge the gap between this, because this one doesn't have a function for like claw grips or the other grip types, and it's just not gonna flow very well. So they've made this new one. That's nice. I like it. It's a little higher in the arm ridge here, so you end up resting on your palm more and up on your knuckles actually on this one. So you actually get a grip of the mouse. Where this one is this one you're down on the ground and you're kind of all on the wrist here. This is more forearm movement. I really like that. When I first put my hand on this, it was just like, ooh, I like that. When can I get one of these? And they say it's coming out in March, so we're looking forward to getting one of these. These are prototype for the QG, the quantitative gaming sensors that they're using for their, they're building for their Kickstarter, and these are all just built into the Naus mouse. They're testing different places. This one here is more on like closer to your wrist. This one's way out on the right side of your hand, and this one here would be the meat of your hand next to your thumb, which I think at least for my grip on the mouse, on this mouse specifically, is probably the best placement for it. It does a couple of different things. One is it reads the conductivity of your hands. So if you've got really dry hands, you have low conductivity. You have really moist or just you're crazy sweaty, you'll have a really high conductivity rate. And it also reads your heartbeat, which is pretty snazzy. And it puts a bunch of information into the computer. You can figure out when you get really stressed out in the game, or if you're just using the mouse in general. So if you're browsing the web and suddenly you're like, why am I freaking out? You can see what you're looking at, or maybe if you're looking at porn, you'll watch this thing go crazy. Just saying, it happens. People do that. Possibilities are endless. I don't even know. It's so exciting to think of what you can do with all this kind of heart rate data in your game and the analytics you can draw for this. So there's a lot of different ideas being thrown around.
This is a full stack of analytics, man. So after you game, or actually when you're gaming, real-time analytics, saying like, how you're performing, or Monday's your best gaming day. I'm just kidding, but I can make up any statistics.
This here, they've got kind of a test up with 3 different players on, this is Borderlands 2, and they've got the heart sensors, and it can tell you if somebody's really freaking out. So you can tell if somebody's like under fire, and you can just know by the biofeedback. Paul's in trouble. Oh, and they have an API, it's all open, so you can do whatever you want with it. Build something, make it happen.
Adata is showing off a lot of fun things. I want this button right here. We got to build one of these, Kane. But that's not why we're here. We're here to check out this first. This is one of their server class drives, or enterprise server class drives. And look at all those capacitors. What on earth is that for?
The one thing I always ask these guys when they say, I got this really crazy fast SSD, I'm like, that's great. What happens if you randomly lose power? And they're like, do you really expect that to happen? Yes, I do. These guys understand where I'm coming from. All those capacitors allow the SSD, if you were to just disconnect it right now, and it would write whatever was already in the middle of a write operation, it will allow it to finish writing before the power is down.
Now, that may not sound like that big of a deal to most people, but, I mean, it takes a few seconds at least, even after something says it's finished, like even if the thing says whatever, I'm done writing, it takes a few seconds for it to go through the cache to the actual flash.
Yeah, and through the cache into the NAND memory chips. And one of the things that, like, you think about it, if you're writing a bunch of stuff, even if you're not in an enterprise environment, but you have this as an external drive, and you pull the plug and you run because you have to, you're stealing someone's data. So it will allow you to continue that write operation, and you can run it. You don't have to worry about it not finishing the write.
It's pretty fast. Not the fastest thing I've ever seen using a Seagate controller. Up to 480 gigabytes and 550 and 520 on the read and write. Okay, this is wireless, sort of a wireless NAS, right?
Yeah, it's another one of these little nifty devices. It's got the Wi-Fi built in. It's got some memory card readers, so you can plug it in and connect to the thing, and then you can share data off the memory stick. This one happens.
It doesn't come with storage. You have to provide your own there. But you do have, USB and SD card right there, so you have a couple different options. This is just going to turn it into basically a wireless.
And it's got its own internal battery. It's got an external charging point, so you can plug it in and charge it up, obviously. And it's got 2 USB ports. And this one actually has got a really nifty kind of device where you can, it's got some program in here that allows it to connect to a Wi-Fi. I'm sorry, not Wi-Fi, to a webcam, and you end up with a Wi-Fi based webcam that you can connect to and control the camera and take pictures and whatnot, and then actually have it store on the SD card.
So you can just access this through the IP address, or actually through the software on your, your device, whatever that device may be. This one here is also another wireless cloud type thing, or wireless NAS type thing, just a wireless hard drive, essentially. And then this is wireless AC.
Just remember, when you go to connect any of these things up, make sure you change the passwords and lock it down before you just, plug it in the middle of a hotel somewhere.
All right, let's take a look at the memory modules. I think we can just go through this out of rehearsal. There's so many different modules here. A lot of these are going to be, strictly placed into laptops, stuff for OEMs and that sort of thing. But Adata is one of the largest manufacturers in the world when it comes to this sort of thing. One shot. He found the good one. So this is the good one there. He just pointed out with his tongue. This one, it's not really something you're going to go and be able to order on your own in stores. But maybe, if enough of you guys complain in the comments, they'll release this for a very high price tag. So this one here, J Micron controller. But the crazy thing, the interface, PCI Express Gen 2 by 4, potential capacity up to 20 gigabytes per second. And this one here will actually do 1600 on the read and 1200 on the write. It's crazy. Really want one of these. Or maybe they should make this and then like one of those PCI Express adapters for people who don't have them. But as you can see, tons and tons of options. M.2.
Various shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
All your fun storage needs.
We've also got some mSATA down here for everybody who's still hanging out with mSATA, or if you're building like your own router or something and you want some caching with an ALIX box, mSATA is good for that. So there's that. Yeah, we've seen most of these before. Something we have not seen really that much of before? Just some different color schemes on the DDR4. These go from 2133 to 3333, and they've actually got some of these running in a test machine up front. Memory throughput's pretty ridiculous on that. They now have some color options, so you can, color code your system. And yeah, just color, aesthetics. Everyone likes that, right? Maybe? I don't know. So USB 3.1 is a thing, and USB 3 Type-C is also a thing. These are the reversible plugs, and you're going to see this a lot on laptops coming up soon. They have a smorgasbord of various sizes and various capacities. With all of these drives, the throughput on these is really good. So, looking really nice there.
Yeah, screw that. Watch this.
What do you got?
You want to talk throughput? Look at this. This is a dual SSD RAID 0 USB 3.1 with a Type-C connector, and it gets 819 megabytes per second of read and 839 of write.
With this thing. So it's an external drive with 819, 839.
Yeah. So if you're working on a production or something, you can get that. You can get your cards from your camera and send it over USB 3.1 to that and back it up like that and get your card back to your camera department or into your camera.
That is handy.
Yeah, and fast. And sexy. I want it. Can I have this?
You have to pry it out of Paul's hands. Well, there it goes. We all know HyperX makes gaming hardware, but they also have a YouTube channel centered on gaming culture that is about to hit 100,000 subscribers. Go ahead and click here to check it out. You may not know it, but Sapphire is sort of the AMD brand. They even make the OEM cards for AMD themselves. Click on the screen to see what's new and maybe some secrets. Thermaltake always has a lot going on, but this year they really have a lot going on and they have upped their game. Click on the screen to check it out. All right, that was a robot for a minute.